Let's meet George Santos, an elected U.S. Representative to New York's 3rd Congressional District, representing parts of Long Island and Queens. Upon his swearing in to the United States Congress, Santos was tapped to serve on 2 House panels, the Committee on Small Business and the Committee on Science, Space, and Technology. An overnight political campaign sensation, you ask? Or the poster boy on how to lie, deceive, embellish, swindle, and fabricate your way to becoming an elected American lawmaker? The holder of a high school equivalency diploma, Santos claimed he attended Horace Mann School, a member of the Ivy Preparatory School League, as well as graduating with a degree in economics and finance from Baruch College, claiming that he had graduated in the top 1% of his class at Baruch while also playing on a volleyball scholarship and leading the team to the championship. Well done, George. Santos said his grandparents survived the Holocaust, and his campaign bio claimed that they fled persecution during World War II. Santos later tweeted, "It was an honor to address fellow members of the Jewish community while at a 2022 Republican Jewish Coalition convention." Santos would later backtrack, saying, "I never claimed to be Jewish, but rather Jew-ish." Although Santos' lies about his family connections to the Holocaust did not stop him from delivering remarks on the Congressional House floor to commemorate Holocaust Remembrance Day. Santos claimed his mother was in her office in the South Tower on September 11th, and that she passed away a few years later when she lost her battle to cancer, ignoring the fact that his mother was actually in Brazil when the towers went down and that her death was 15 years after the 9/11 tragedy. As recently as 2019, Santos was introducing himself publicly and privately as Anthony DeVolder, and incorporated his own company named DeVolder, originally claiming almost no assets or income in the year 2020. By the next year, he had a condo in Brazil and a $750,000 salary through his company that was now valued up to $5 million. In real-world finance, Santos is now facing a series of inquiries from federal and local authorities over his campaign's expenditures and the sources of his income. A nonpartisan campaign finance watchdog filed a complaint with federal regulators alleging Santos had funneled money from unknown sources into his campaign in order to help get elected. Once performing as a drag queen in Rio de Janeiro, Santos initially denied this revelation, saying it was categorically false, despite the fact that a former friend said Santos aspired to be Miss Gay Rio de Janeiro and that he was regularly participating in drag pageants under the stage name Katana Havachi. A Wikipedia bio for a user named Anthony DeVolder claims that following a successful drag career, he landed roles on Disney Channel shows such as Hannah Montana. That's amazing, George. A campaign bio stated that he worked at Goldman Sachs and Citigroup, although neither company has records of his employment. The campaign bio further claims he and his family ran a real estate portfolio of 13 properties. No evidence of these buildings has been found, and they were not listed on his required campaign financial disclosures. Employed at Harbor City Capital in 2020, Santos said he managed a $1.5 billion fund and bragged of record returns of up to 12 to 26%. But in April 2021, the Securities and Exchange Commission accused Harbor City of actually being a Ponzi scheme that stole $17 million from its investors. While living in Brazil, court records show Santos was charged with stealing the checkbook of a man his mother was caring for, and he wrote $700 in fraudulent checks. In a sworn statement, Santos stated that he was also mugged while attempting to deliver a check for back rent owed to his Queens landlord. Shockingly, there is no record of this ever happening. Santos' campaign bio claimed he ran a foundation called Friends of Pets United, saving 2,500 dogs and cats between 2013 and 2018. But there were no social media accounts for the organization and no IRS records. One fundraiser with a rescue group in New Jersey was held, but the group that threw the event said that it never received any funds and that Santos made up several excuses for why he didn't have the money. Santos also allegedly stole money from a disabled veteran who came to him for help in funding a life-saving surgery for his dog. The Friends of Pets United put together a GoFundMe that got the money for the surgery. Santos then refused to give the money to the veteran, whose dog died less than a year later. In 2017, a checking account in Santos' name wrote 9 canceled checks to 8 different accounts owned by dog breeders. That November, he was charged in Pennsylvania with theft by deception for the alleged crime. Santos claimed that his checkbook was stolen and the charge was expunged in 2021. Just when you thought this web of lies couldn't get even more bizarre, Santos said that he had lost 4 employees in the Pulse nightclub shootings in 2016. None of the 49 victims at the Orlando club worked at any of the companies he has named in his biographies. Santos also claimed to some donors that he had helped produce Spider-Man, Turn Off the Dark, a Broadway rock musical production. If that was not enough, he claimed to help develop and raise funds for carbon capture technology used in oil and gas drilling, saying, "I've had a very extensive role in gas and oil in this country." Speaking at a Stop the Steal rally that preceded the attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, George Santos wore a Burberry scarf claimed by former roommates that he had actually stolen from them. And most recently, George Santos was accused of sexual harassment by a congressional aide who filed a police report and a complaint with the House Ethics Committee regarding ethical violations and sexual harassment by none other than Congressman George Santos. This concludes your introduction to your very own George Santos, an elected American lawmaker supporting and defending the Constitution of the United States on a daily basis in the U.S. Congress.